Hello there and greetings from the newsroom and welcome to News Tonight. It is Thursday, the 21st day of December 2015. My name is Edward Rukidi Kijanangoma and let's get started straight away. Now, members of Parliament against the age limit bill have launched another campaign codenamed Koji Kuteko, objecting the manner in which the age limit amendment was done. Now, led by the leader of opposition and Kasese woman legislator Winfred Chiza, the MPs against the amendment from both sides have threatened to go to court to seek justice. Susan Naonga was in the August House and filed the following report.
The anti-age bill MPs from both sides have vowed to challenge the manner in which the age limit amendment bill was handled. Following yesterday's passing of the age limit amendment bill, MPs want to seek justice over the issue in the East African Court of Justice. While addressing the press at Parliament, leader of opposition Winnie Chiza questioned the entire process in which the bill saw its way to Parliament.
Some of us have gone to the East African Court of Justice to even challenge the manner in which the motion was moved. The bill itself was presented to the House. There were so many irregularities.
That's why courts are there. And for me, I prefer that kind of approach. You say you don't agree with what we have done, go to court. Instead of saying you start destroying buildings, you start destroying microphones and so on.
Furious anti-age MPs accused their counterparts for being individualistic. Their counterparts also gave their view in response.
We sought to protect and defend the Constitution. It's not the duty of each individual by law to come up with amendments to the Constitution.
Let them just quote one phrase in the Constitution that says what we have done is illegal. I mean, they should go to court.
For we are here to represent the people.
If they are saying that they did not support, we should look at the Hansard of Parliament.
Igara West Member of Parliament Raphael Majezi doubts Godbert Mushabe report that indicated that 85% of the voters were against the age limit.
And you've seen the results. This is more credible. This is a credible result than getting somebody who is against the bill to go out and say she or he is carrying out an opinion poll. That is not credible. It's not allowed.
MPs also dispute the move by the Speaker of Parliament, Rebecca Kadaga, of suspending some rules in the House in the name of restoring order. The Speaker of Parliament is mandated to suspend some rules of the House, being the custodian of rules.
A member of the House should have moved to suspend that particular rule. The Speaker decided on her own to break that rule. She's not mandated to do that.
The Speaker is a custodian of rules. So if you're asking whether the Speaker breached some rules, you are going into the actual conduct of the proceedings of the House.
The anti-age limit MPs have vowed to continue with the campaigns in a new campaign deemed Koji Kuteko. Susan Naonga reporting.
New campaign there, of course, codenamed Koji Kuteko. Now, let's go to the courts of law, where the commercial court has disqualified law firms of Max Advocates and AFK Mpanga Advocates from representing Bank of Uganda in a case against businessman Sudhir Ruparelia over conflict of interest and breach of advocate-client relationship. Now, in a ruling read by Lilian Buchana, Justice David Wangututsi ruled that Timothy Masembe and David Mpanga have been Ruparelia's lawyers for the last 12 years, thus making them very privy to confidential information about their former client. Here is our reporter, Samuel Senano.
Application Sudhir Ruparelia stated that David Mpanga of AF Mpanga Advocates and Timothy Masembe of Max Associates are witnesses in his defense and cannot represent Crane Bank, which has sued him. Sudhir also contends that the two law firms should not be allowed to handle the case, for they carried out legal analysis for PricewaterhouseCoopers, which was contracted by Bank of Uganda to conduct an independent audit of Crane Bank. The commercial court has ruled that the first and second respondents are disqualified as counsel for Bank of Uganda. The ruling was read by the Deputy Registrar of Court, Lilian Buchana, on behalf of Justice David Wangutsi.
The sum total is that the first and second respondents have found themselves in an adverse position to a former client. They are rightly presumed to possess confidential information learned in earlier representation of the applicant, which would be advantageous to their present client.
After the ruling, Sudhir said that he would lodge a complaint with the Law Society of England, where one of the lawyers representing Bank of Uganda is a member.
The court has said so. And I'm going to write to the Law Society in England about the, one of the conflicted lawyers, or both of them who are affiliated in England, and expose them.
The lawyers in question are conflicted because of their fiduciary relationship with their former client, Dr. Sudhir. They are also conflicted because they are potential witnesses. In fact, they are listed as witnesses. You can't be a witness and counsel in the same case. That's the gist of the ruling. The case is not yet completed. The case will continue. The other parties who depended on them will look for other lawyers, and we move on.
Moses Adric of Marks Associates revealed to court that they will appeal the... In October 2016, Bank of Uganda took over Crane Bank and later sold it to DFCU Bank after suspending all its board members. Bank of Uganda also took Sudhir Ruparelli and his Mera investments in court, seeking to recover about 400 billion that he allegedly took from Crane Bank for his personal gains. Samuel Senono, UBC News.
Thanks, Senator, for that report. And in a related development, AFK Mpanga and Marks advocates are to appeal the ruling by the Commercial Court that barred them from representing Bank of Uganda in the Crane Bank Limited receivership versus Sudhir Ruparelli court case. Now, in her ruling, Deputy Registrar Lilian Buchana, on behalf of Justice David Wangutsi, held that Sudhir was Marks and AFK Mpanga former client, so representing the current client, that is Bank of Uganda, would be advantageous to them. It is alleged that businessman Sudhir Ruparelli diverted over $96 million from Crane Bank to his own businesses and therefore directly affecting the bank's operations. Dennis Sigoa reports.
The Commercial Court has disqualified law firms Marks Advocates and FK Mpanga Advocates from representing Bank of Uganda in a case against businessman Sudhir Ruparelli over conflict of interest. In a ruling read out by Deputy Registrar Lilian Buchana on behalf of Justice David Wangutsi, the court held that the two law firms are privy to confidential information regarding Sudhir and therefore representing Bank of Uganda would be unfair. According to the ruling, Sudhir, who is the applicant, was the client of respondents 1 and 2 for close to 12 years, and in representing and advising him, they became aware of facts which could be judicial to him. However, David Mpanga of FK Mpanga Advocates argues that the ruling was improper.
The case that is in court is essentially the exercise of trying to get or recover the money, taxpayers' money, which was put into Crane Bank Limited in order to keep it afloat. So, who the lawyers are, what the Bank of Uganda may have done and not done, and all these other things that you've been hearing in social media are sideshows. The critical point is that a bank collapsed, a large bank collapsed. Losses were incurred. Those losses were borne by the taxpayer. The taxpayer needs to pay.
The two law firms want to appeal the ruling because they believe that the judge did not consider the facts and the law.
And we think that there are fundamental issues to be at stake here, especially in respect of how a party can choose or veto counsel of another party.
Sudhir was personally in court shortly after the ruling said he will lodge a complaint with the Law Society of England, where one of the conflicted lawyers is a member. Dennis Igoa for UBC Business.
From the quarters now, let's go to the transport sector, where owners of bus companies have urged Transport Licensing Board to adjust the route schedule for departure of their buses from different terminals during the festive season, since the number of travellers doubles and buses are quickly loaded. Now, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation UBC reporters moved to different bus stations like Namaiba to assess the transport charges. Passengers said this usual schedule delays them. Farida Nafka gives us more on that.
People are flocking bus terminals to book for travel to villages for Christmas due on Monday next week. At Namaiba bus terminal, bus companies have increased transport fares. Passengers say they plan for the festive season, while others say it is because buses return empty.
Them are not going to Lira. They must reach Lira and connect to another village. Now, if police has stopped this bus from taking off, to say that you wait for the time to leave at 2, it takes 6 hours to reach Lira. So the person will reach there around 8. So we are as a passenger, we are sending messages to police, let them come here, and they start flagging the buses when they are full.
I was borrowing police, let us move. Now there are no buses here. There are no buses.
And again, we prepare for these occasions, You know, when you're coming towards Easter, coming towards New Year's, towards Christmas, you plan ahead. So, yeah, I'm sure most of us have really planned for this. So, we are not surprised that the prices are high.
Business here is at its peak since the terminal remains without buses as passenger numbers are overwhelming.
To Lira 20,000, 18,000, but on 29 November increased to 25. Right now we're taking people at 30. The turnout is okay. And by 3 the buses will not even be there.
The general manager at Namaiba bus terminal, Nelson Sekandi, says some passengers sleep at the terminal.
Them 60, they are now telling them 75, of which they are not complaining, and they are boarding the buses. And the passengers are sleeping in the terminal, of which we have to make sure that they are that they are safe. So that's where we had to connect, to keep in touch with the security organization like police, military police, to make sure that they are okay at the terminal.
Although Sekandi advises bus companies to avoid return journeys, the manager, Kacho Coaches, Oriama Moses, says they agreed with Traffic Office and Transport Licensing Board to have an alternative driver.
Like for instance, a bus goes to Lira, it leaves here at the terminal at around 6 a.m. It reaches Lira at around 1. Then that driver, it forces him to bring the bus again to Kampala without taking it to the garage. And immediately it loads and it goes back to Lira, which is not okay. At times it can.
We negotiated with government on condition that we provide an extra driver. The vehicle can now make a return, but the human cannot because of fatigue along the way.
Meanwhile, taxi operators say town service routes have not hiked fare except those who operate in upcountry districts. I'm Nafka Farida and Gloria Gwitabenji reporting.
News Tonight takes a short break, but we'll return with a lot more. Stay with us. Welcome back from that short break, and this is News Tonight with me, Edward Rukidi Kijanangoma. Now we begin this second segment with some rather sad news, and of course the media fraternity has again been hit after a professional fashion guru and regular columnist with the New Vision newspaper passed away. The editor of Bride and Groom and Flair magazine, Ketura Kamgasa, died at International Hospital around 3 p.m. yesterday. Ketura, once a presenter at UBC TV between 2006 and 2007 with Style with Ketura, died at 50 years.
Lydia Ketura Kamgasa, a journalist and professional fashion guru, passed away at International Hospital Kampala in Namuongo, where she breathed her last at about 3 p.m. The 50-year-old was a former employee of UBC TV, where she created and produced a fashion program, Style with Ketura, between 2006 and 2007.
I've just had a facial massage and all my muscles are relaxed and I'm feeling so happy and so relaxed. Well, today we're going to talk about aromatherapy massage, and we shall be looking at the shoulders, the back and the feet, and then we shall also look at the different kinds of hairstyles. We're going to look at 3 hairstyles: a wedding hairstyle, a formal hairstyle, and an ordinary hairstyle for work that is suitable for work. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Sit back and enjoy yourselves. First, the experts at Beauty Lounge in Tinder Shopping Center take us through the different steps of massage, aromatherapy massage, and then the different kinds of hairstyles and how to maintain your hair, how to look well groomed, how to take care of the hair. After you've been to the salon, what else do you need to do yourself, how to take care of your scalp, and all those things that ladies like about hair. Enjoy.
And of course, may the soul of the late Ketura Kamgasa rest in eternal bliss. Let's move on now to Nakaseke District, where Nakaseke District in former Luwero Triangle was affected by the NRA bush war that ended in 1986, leaving behind very many widows and orphans. But after the war, the remaining population returned and ventured into agriculture to improve their livelihoods with so many projects, one of them being apiary. We have more on that in this report.
Joining beekeeping. The chairperson, Nakaseke Beekeeping Project, Wilson Kabagambe, explains why apiary beats any other business in Nakaseke.
In a very dirty house, and this dirty house, I managed to get money from bees. That is through bee sales and honey sales. I managed to buy a plot in the center of Nakaseke town.
They started with 2 beehives, which have grown to 100 beehives. They harvested 400 liters of honey and other byproducts annually. Women in the area say beekeeping has improved their lives.
Kati kusawa ya lero ngenda kuyingira amaka gange naye nga budanyoma ezibuka okubuusi ne zigenda naye ffe tuzifunyemu kubanga bino byonna bivudde mu product ya
However, members have challenges, among which spraying crops and animals, among others.
Less forage, because all of the forests have been depleted, and most forage has been burnt by using chemicals such as weed master. So bees starve because now the quantity of flowers is not enough.
Members also want government to include apiary in the list of its facilitated programs in the Operation Wealth Creation Program.
Enjuki munange tiziri ku budget natwala okusaba kwa ffe batuwe emizinga tuteekemu enjuki nibagamba tibagirina tibiri ku program bakolera ku budget government gyebawa.
NGOs and anybody.
A beekeeping project, you must have to acquire a piece of land and 250,000 shillings for the beehive. Within 6 months, a farmer will start harvesting honey. Reporting for UBC News, Ongeso Godwin Mark, Igamorin, and Tanava Kenneth in Nakaseke.
Welcome back. Now moving further afield, we begin in South Africa, where the new leader of South Africa's governing African National Congress, ANC party, Cyril Ramaphosa, has pledged to fight corruption and pursue a policy of radical economic transformation. Closing the party's conference, he said tracking unemployment and poverty should also be key party policies. Ramaphosa was elected on Monday to succeed President Jacob Zuma as party leader. He is in a strong position to become president at elections in 2019. He said the conference has resolved that corruption must be fought with the same intensity and purpose that we fight poverty, unemployment and inequality. He called for fearless action against alleged corruption and abuse of office within the ANC ranks. Ramaphosa said that the party had approved the seizure of land without compensation, but he cautioned against undermining the economy and food production. Now, the US has sanctioned a Myanmar general accused of leading an ethnic cleansing campaign against the Rohingya people. Maung Soe is among a host of world figures blacklisted by the US. He was removed from his post last month. Now, the crisis in northern Rakhine state has seen more than 500,000 Rohingyans flee for neighboring Bangladesh since August 2017. Myanmar's military says it is fighting Rohingya militants and denies targeting civilians. It's time now for us to have a look at sports, and of course we begin with the Azam Uganda Premier League, where Azam Uganda Premier League resumes on Friday for the last games to seal the festive season this year. Logogo-based KCCA FC host Express FC, Vipers play Police FC, Eura will square ties with Arua-based Onduparaka, and Maroons tussle it out against Ginger's Bull FC, among other games on the day. In earlier games played, SC Villa continued to tighten her lead position on the table after securing a 2-1 victory against Proline FC. Meanwhile, defending champions KCC FC beat Ginger Chirinya SS 2-1, while Vipers humbled Express FC 2-1. Now, SC Villa will lead the table with 31 points. Second place is KCCA FC at 26, and Police has 24, and Vipers in fourth place with 23 points. Masavu FC, Express FC, and Entebbe Best, the Saints FC, are the bottom three teams on the Azam Uganda Premier League table. Pool news now, and Pool Association of Uganda Public Relations Officer Dennis Ngobi has confirmed that most of Uganda's top players have confirmed participation at the 2017 Christmas Cup. Now, the two-day tournament starts on Friday at Rock Catalina Bar in Ntinda. In the men's draw, Sula Matovu, Amos Ndiagumanawe, Alfred Gumikiriza and now special open pool champion Fahad Siwankambo have entered for the championship, whose male winner bags 1.5 million shillings. Now, the women's category is also a collection of world-class competitors, including Tendo Cheyine, Jacinta Kajuri, Lokia Naiga, Angela Businje, Rita Nimsima, and Vicky Namuyanja. Now, the winner among Uganda's finest ladies will take home 1 million Ugandan shillings. And finally, we have got news pertaining to Afro basketball, and our City Oilers beat Ferbeira to finish 5th in the Afro basket tournament in Rades, Tunisia, after having a very bad start where they lost the first 3 games in the competitions. Ferbeira stormed back in the second quarter, cutting the deficit to 43-42, though it was not good enough to overcome their Ugandan counterparts. Now, City Oilers took back control of the game in the second half to win the game 82-74. Now, Oilers power forward Adarius Pegis scored 23 points and 8 rebounds, earning Man of the Match accolade. Jimmy Enabu, Stephen Omonye, Maez Jordan, Benjamin Komakech, and Oponye Robinson, among others, are the City Oilers players. Now, currently, City Oilers is 2016-2017 Basketball League champions. And that sports segment brings us to the end of news tonight. It's been a pleasure having you on board, but I'll leave you with some message here. And it's, of course, festive season. Christmas is just around the corner. The first message goes to the youth. You must take care of yourselves. Do not, let your zip down. Protect yourself against HIV/AIDS. And also to the adults. If you must drink and you want to go partying, just remember to have a driver who is not on alcohol, so that you don't get into trouble. I've been Edward Rukidi Kijanangoma. I wish you a good night and Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2018. Catch you again next week.